The boy who lived come to die.
Harry Potter, in addition to being one of the greatest cinematic undertakings in history, has raised a generation of children as a beloved book series, and is now an insanely popular film series.
Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows is an action-packed must-see film. It's by far the most entertaining movie in the series. Harry, Hermione, and Ron try their best to escape from the clutches of Voldemort as the Ministry falls, and the three must also find a way to destroy the evil Horcrux. The cinematography is fantastic. Each scene is prettier than the next. Voldemort, played by Ralph Fiennes, is the creepiest. He is a consistently horrifying presence throughout the film.
I must be the one to kill Harry Potter.
Also refreshing is the development of all characters as opposed to just Harry. We finally see Ron's character grow a pair.
All right, I'll spit it out. But don't expect me to be grateful just because now there's another damn thing we've got to find.
Hermione doesn't whine nearly as much as usual, which is definitely a plus, and Dobby is the shit. The action keeps coming, the tension keeps building, and you're left wanting more, just like when you go to a Hooters. It's definitely worth the price of admission. It's a movie for all ages. It's especially the perfect movie for the college-aged audience. We grew up with these characters. It's a part of our childhood, and you can't put a price on that, so see it today.
I think you're right. It was definitely the prettiest movie we've gotten out of the Harry Potter franchise, and I think it was even the best paced.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously that's because it's a movie that's broken into two parts. So
Yeah,
as
which helps.
slow as it can feel at times, it needs to. But I think the overall quality of this movie is really dependent on part 2 that comes out in July.
Yeah, but that final scene though really wants you to see
now
part
I'm like,
2.
I need to see part 2.
Yeah, I
like,
mean,
I've read
if
the
this-
book and I need to see part 2.
Yeah, you already know what happens.
Yeah.
You're gonna see it.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the pacing, like you said, was really well. The acting was way better.
Because I was really nervous because the first half of the 7th book is pretty much just Harry, Ron, and Hermione, and I've always seen them
On a
as sort
camping trip.
Exactly, and they are just they've been the weakest parts of the movie because you usually just surround them with great character actors like Alan Rickman or Michael Gambon or
Ralph Fiennes.
or Ralph Fiennes, and this movie was all on them, and Ron and Hermione especially really just carried that.
They grew up. That's what it
yeah.
was. All of these actors grew up, and so did their technique, and then so did the movie. The movie's benefited from that.
I still wanted like more from Daniel Radcliffe, but I've kind of accepted that.
That's just his face.
Yeah, I've accepted that I'm always gonna want more from Daniel Radcliffe, and now I can just sort of settle in and watch these movies.
But really, though, in a lot of the other movies, it's kind of hard to see that something happened.
Yeah.
But in this movie, stuff's happening all over the place, and you're loving it. You're loving every second of it. It's not, what are we gonna do now? I don't know, there's a troll. Like this one, I mean, yeah, they're spending the entire movie trying to destroy this Horcrux, but there's actual, legitimate, audience loves character development.
Yeah,
but especially between Hermione and Harry.
Yes.
That dance scene.
Oh, that dance scene was
Woo!
that was surprisingly well done.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where, as these movies have gone on, you sort of lower your expectations every time.
A little
bit.
bit.
Especially after the 5th one, which was kind of a slog to get through, and then you get to the 6th one that was okay.
Let's just not talk about it.
We're not going to talk about the 6th one. And then this one, and especially since it was directed by the guy who did the 6th and 5th, it's sort of, where was great stuff like that?
They took risks too.
Yeah.
They had a whole section when they're talking about the 3 brothers, which I'm not going to spoil, but they're talking about the 3 brothers, and it's done entirely in motion graphics.
And it was beautiful.
It was.
It worked. It was
It didn't just look like a college project.
Exactly.
No
I mean,
offense, but like it.
I mean, because that's sort of the thing about animation in movies, especially when you get so far into the series with Harry Potter, is the animation has to somehow fit the continuity.
Yeah.
And they just found a way to make it look like it fit.
And it was like I said, every single scene looked like the background screensaver to a computer.
Yeah, it was gorgeous.
So overall, Harry Potter 7 Part 1 is a must-see.
Coming up next, we're going to talk about Unstoppable. Trains!
Crash.